Higher, higher, higher. Let's take it. Let's take it. Let's take it. Let's take it. We gon' with some we going higher on the case for we going higher on the case for we're gonna get it elevated to the What's going on, everybody? This your boy Casefield, King Self for Life Wrestling Takes, here to give you my honest take about tonight's AEW House of Dragon edition of Dynamite. Yo, listen, man. You know, I asked myself, how in the world is Tony Khan the way he is? Like, why does he do things that sometimes you ask yourself, you be like, what he's doing is a genius idea, and sometimes you ask yourself, what he's doing is straight up dumb. He didn't pay no attention to what I was talking about last week. I told them to have fun with this build up with CM Punk and Moxley. He said, screw it, I'm about to get the match away next week. I'm like, bruh, no, I get so freaking tired of them constantly giving us the match a week or 2 weeks before. I'm like, I don't understand why he keeps doing that. He does this, whatever the pay-per-view he got, he always seems to do this. It does not matter who's wrestling, he always does this foolishness, and it's getting on my freaking nerves, man. I'm like, dog, why are you giving it away now? Everybody in their mama know what's about to transpire. We all know. Listen, I told y'all who was going. Tony Khan, you could have just waited to All Out, do the match, and then do what I said. You said, no, I got to get this away. That man been waiting in the wings. And y'all know who I'm talking about. Man, Tony Khan don't want to have fun, man. He just want to just give crap away. Just give it away. I'm like, no, man. Learn to have freaking fun with stuff, man. Learn to have fun. Man. Just learn to have fun, man. Quit doing this foolishness, because this is what he does. See, man, look. I ain't like Mike. You know King Mike. Y'all know King Mike. But sometimes King Mike is 1,000% correct, because sometimes Tony Khan act like he don't know how to book. He do some stuff that's pretty dope, but then he do some junk that just be like, what the heck are you doing? What are you doing, man? What are you doing for real? What are you doing? Listen, man, this was a good episode. It was a very good episode, but just listen. I got some stuff I got to go off on. I had to. I had to go off. I told y'all I can't come on here and be fake when it comes to critiquing this wrestling show that I claim to be, my show. I had to be as real as I can be. I can't fake the funk. I cannot fake it. I can't come on here and be like, oh man, this show was outstanding. This show, no. I got to be 1,000% with you. It was a good show. Don't get me wrong. It was a good show. It had a lot of good things. I'm gonna talk about the positives, but I gotta address some of the crap that just didn't make no sense. Like right off the jump. Right off the jump. The promos between the two of them was excellent. I was cool with the promo. The promo work, all that was perfect. Because everything what everybody said was on point. But just jumping the gun and, hey, I said you had Hangman. The fact that CM Punk called that man out, you had the rematch. You could have done it. You could have set the rematch up for next week. I would have been cool with that. Because at least CM Punk can get some rest before he gets his hands on Moxley. He gets some rep. He get to go. We get the rematch out the way. You get the rematch. I don't want to see CM Punk versus Moxley. I don't want to see it. I do not want to see it. This is what I hate. Because it's just like watching WWE when they give us 50 billion freaking rematches and then tell us, get ready for the same garbage match that happened at the freaking pay-per-view. Tony Khan said, I got to do... No. I hate that stuff. I told you, rematches only supposed to happen after the first match happened. Once you do it once, if you're going to have a feud, spread that bull crap out. Do not give it to me when it's like, because it's in my mind and I already saw it. And I'm like, I'm not going to give a crap about it when it happened in the main event at the freaking pay-per-view because you just showed it to me. Man, man, listen. My goodness. I was like, dog. I said, Tony Khan, why? Why? Just why? Let's break down this show. So, CM Punk comes out live from West Virginia. Fans going crazy. Charleston, West Virginia. Crowd was hyped. It's going nuts. CM Punk, everybody going crazy. He come in the ring. He talk about why he back. Wrestle like crazy. Called out Hangman. He said, look, I ain't even in the wrestling gear right now, but I'm ready to give Hangman his rematch. So Hangman, get your butt out here right now. Let's go. He sat down. He didn't come out. He said, that ain't cowboy. And fans was like, cowboy poop, cowboy poop. He said, no, that ain't cowboy poop. It's cowboy stuff. I said, Tony Khan, there you have it right there. You got the match set up for next week. We give it to us. Since Hangman acting like he don't want to do nothing, go ahead and give it to us. Give us Hangman versus CM Punk. Give it to us. Let us see that so he can get his feet wet. You know what I'm saying? He get his little reps in. Nope. Talked about Eddie Kingston. He said, matter of fact, I know a couple of Kingstons that's better than you. And we know who he was talking about. He was talking about Kofi Kingston. So then got to Moxley. He said, Moxley, you're the interim champion, which means temporary. You got the championship. I got the main title. This is my championship. This is the real championship. So listen, come on. That's when he came out. He started running off. He said, oh, here we go again. CM Punk and his pipe bombs. Oh, you be scared and all that. You just running your mouth. And you're right, yeah. Every time everybody keeps saying interim, it kind of irked me. It's like, you know what? I'm out here carrying this company on my back. I'm the heart and soul of this company. And here you are on the shelf again. Why? And then that's what CM Punk said. Yeah, you might be the heart and soul, but I'm the one that actually makes this company money. So they blabbling and all that. They said, look, we can run off at the mouth all day long. Like, let's go. So next thing you know, he said, now, he told him, he said, yeah, let's go. He said, now, if I hit you, you're going to start bleeding all over the place. Because why? That's all they known for. And speaking of that, I'm going to talk about it because Brian couldn't help himself. DG couldn't help himself. I'm going to go in on that. We're going to talk about that when we get there. So the punches that both of them was throwing was great. The promo work was excellent. And I said, all right, cool. So they started trying to brawl. Here come all the security folk. Everybody trying to hold them back. And they got out. Then they started brawling again. I said, all right, cool. So we know. There you have it. said what they said. We got the brawl. All right. So we basically got 2 more weeks to build, correct? That's what I'm thinking. Nah, we gonna talk about it because this is the next part. So, like I said, everybody did what they was supposed to do. So, we got footage of Ricky Starks from last week doing what he had to do against the Factory. Tony Schiavone talked to Powerhouse Hobbs, and ladies and gentlemen, Powerhouse Hobbs cut an outstanding promo. He said, when that man kept saying, he said, yeah, he said no, he said we used to be tight. Listen, that fool, when he said that he was cool with losing, I said, that's not me. I'm not cool with losing. Matter of fact, first of all, my job was to make sure as long as he had that championship that he didn't lose it. And the moment he lost it, I said, hey, I'm good to go. Now, he knows that I'm in the business of breaking backs, but I'm also in the business of breaking necks. Now, if you remember, that's because at the time, I wasn't thinking about it. Ricky Starks did have a neck injury, ladies and gentlemen, so he put in a real life situation in it. Y'all, Powerhouse Hobbs, man, listen. The way how this young man is creeping, he just creeping and creeping. When it comes time to pull the trigger on that man, I'm gonna be one of the happiest dudes on the planet because I'm just watching this. I'm enjoying watching this young man rise to the top. I'm enjoying it. Whatever Tony Khan and them doing, keep doing it. Him hanging out with Ricky Starks and Taz did him wonders. It did him wonders. And he told Tony, he said also, and I got something for the Factory too. So obviously he ain't done with QT because he mentioned QT in there. So Ricky Steamboat was sitting ringside. Obviously they was there because they were talking about this whole Dragon House stuff. So he wanted to be ringside to watch Bryan Danielson versus the Dragon Slayer himself, Daniel Garcia. Jericho comes out. He on commentary sounding like a complete clown. So it's a 2 out of 3 falls match. First match, Daniel Garcia dominating the whole time, just making Bryan look like he had no business being out there. That young man can wrestle his tail off. Daniel Garcia is an outstanding wrestler. Outstanding. And he kept saying #1 sports entertainer, whatever they call themselves, right? So we get to the second one. Come back from commercial break. What are the Blackpool Combat Club cats known for? I call them the Blood Combat Clowns because they cannot help themselves. We come back from commercial, and who bleeding like crazy? Bryan. That's when it took me out the match. I said, you did not need to bleed. Here we go again with this. I gotta bleed every 5 seconds. This is why CM Punk said, oh, if I hit you, you're gonna bleed. He not lying. That's all they know. It's like, man, y'all don't have to. I'm like, dog, only bleed when it matters. We keep doing this foolishness because no, cut it out. Cut the bull crap out. It just takes away. So when it really matters, you're gonna be like, man, I really don't know because these fools be bleeding so much. They bleed every 5 seconds. Every time you turn around, these fools is bleed. So while he bleeding, he finally decided to wake up and he finally got one. So now they tired. So they going at it. They going back and forth. And Crowder's into it. Crowder's loving it. They enjoying every moment. They enjoying everything. Come back, another commercial break. Bryan gets it. He beats him. Now, after the match, it looked like DG looked like he was ready to go babyface. So, crowd, everybody standing ovation, everybody going crazy. And Jericho on commentary sounded like he, is disgusted. He said even though he did a great job, but he sounded like he was disgusted in his protege. Well, Bryan is looking, he want to shake his hand and everything. So they both get up and everything. And then here comes Jericho. Jericho comes out the woodwork and start beating the brakes off of Bryan. And then you see DG go, what the F, Jericho? Like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, you can clearly see that's exactly what he said if you read his lips. And so then when he went up to Jericho, he pushed him off. And Jericho was like, wait, hold up. What the heck is wrong with you? So let me tell you something. Babyface. Oh, and when he did that, the crowd went nuts. I said, a babyface Daniel Garcia? A babyface Daniel Garcia. So obviously this is going to be the catalyst that's going to get us to Jericho versus Bryan at All Out. Like obviously that's what the catalyst is going to be. That's the catalyst to get us there. So like I said, the match was fine. It was a very good match. Very good match. It's just this freaking blood. The blood. You don't call it. No, because they do it too much. They do it way too much. Every time you turn around, somebody bleed. They can't. Just like, man, I look. Oh, they bleed. Come back for commercial. Oh, they bleed. I'm like, no, Brian, you didn't need to bleed. You didn't need to. So now this segment was funny as heck. So for Rampage, we're gonna get Private Party versus Swerve in Our Glory for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Private Party cut a promo. Swerve, Lee, they said what they said about them. And then so Isaiah got up in Keith Lee's face, talk about you ain't gonna embarrass me like you did. Keith Lee popped up with the stick of gum. I say, man, the breath was kicking. I said, listen, let me tell y'all something, man. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, anytime we get together, when we start roasting each other, I don't know, we just like to do that. It's just something like, I know everybody else roasts everybody, but it's just something about when black folk get together, they just ride each other, they'll embarrass each other, they don't give a crap. And the fact that he pulled that stick of gum, I was like, okay, man. So they gonna wrestle each other on Rampage. Obviously, it's a foregone conclusion. You know they're not losing those championships. So, but it's that right to the point. So Tony Nese was ready to come out, smart work Sterling, and then here come Mox. Mox just comes out the woodwork. You talk about ambush, talk about hijacking the show. Mox comes out the woodwork and beats the breaks off of Nese, tears that man up, beats him down. I was like, oh snap. I said, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Nese is an afterthought now. He's an afterthought because he get beat up by the current AEW champion, interim, if that's what you want to call it. Hops on the mic. He says, screw this bull crap. I don't want to wait till All Out. I want CM Punk right now. Get your butt out here. Let's go. And so next thing you know, here come CM Punk, and you see the security folk trying to hold him back. They start scuffling again. They start pulling them apart again. They scuffling again. I say, obviously, I get what they're doing. They're trying to get us more hype for the match. But like I say, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with scuffling. I'm cool with all that. I just don't need cats wrestling each other before the pay-per-view. I don't need it. And the fact that everybody and their mama know what's finna transpire. Tony Khan could have at least did what I said. Wait until All Out before my man's pull back up. Because you know what's happening next week. Everybody and their mama know who's returning next week. It's this foregone conclusion. It's a foregone conclusion. You know who's pulling up next week. It's not even funny. Everybody know. Everybody and the mama know. So backstage, Jericho is talking to Shivani and them. And, Shivani's talking to Jericho and them. And he said, maybe DG is a little groggy because he had his head beat in. But next week, I'm going to have a one-on-one conversation to figure out where does he stand. Is he with us? Or is he on his way, or is he want to do his own thing? Because trying to get down with Bryan is not the way to go. He's not the way to go. So, Ricky Steamboat came out the woodwork. And he got into Jericho's face. And he said, I ain't like you 15 years ago. And I don't like you today. You stay your goody two-shoes tail on somewhere else. So then that's when Angelo, a.k.a. Jeff, he got into his face. Basically said, oh, man, get on out of here. And then that's when the old man basically did his move. When he hit you in your chest, you get laid out. That's basically what it was. So this is basically a way to get Ricky Steamboat on TV, let him say something, just a little pay homage to him and all that stuff. So I didn't have a problem with it. It's pretty, solid segment. So this segment right here, 1, 2, 3, Varsity Bonds versus the Gun Club. Billy Gunn said that his boys is going to have to prove to him that they worked it, that they not punks, they not pushovers. You turn around, this match is over. They beat the brakes off of the Varsity Bonds like 1, 2, 3 match over. So Billy Gunn get in the ring. He said, all right. He said, you guys are doing much better than last week. Now, I'm proud of you all. I'm proud to be able to work side by side you all. And let's embrace one another. Next thing you know, Stokely come walking out. And I said, here we go again. What is about to transpire? The Gun Boys beat the snot out of Billy Gunn. They beat the brakes. So the Gun Boys have aligned themselves with Stokely Hathaway Enterprises, if that's what you want to call them. Stokely Hathaway has now become the manager of the Gun Boys. So as they beating the brakes off of Billy Gunn, the Acclaim come running out. I said, oh boy, here we go. The Acclaim come, they chase them off, and they help Billy Gunn up. And here come Anthony. Sesame Daddy. Listen, let me tell y'all something. The Acclaim are my favorite tag team in AEW. I don't give a crap what nobody got to say. I love them boys. I love Max. I love Anthony. People can hate on the Acclaim all they want. Hate on the Acclaim. I don't give a care. Hate them to hate them all day. You can hate them till you die. I'm rolling with the Acclaim all day. So the fact that we didn't partner them with Mr. Daddy-O, Sesame Daddy-O again. Hey, if that's the route they want to go, I don't have a problem with it. Fine. Cool. I'm cool with it. As long as the Acclaim on my TV, that's what I want to see. Get them on TV. That's it. We get a backstage promo from last week. Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh going off on FTR and Warlow. Talk about how, they ain't do nothing to them and they going to get their hands on them. They going to beat the bricks off of them next time they see them. Everybody said something. Jay Lethal said something about Dax. And even Satnam Singh said if Warlow got in his face, I wish he would try to powerbomb me. 1, 2, 3. Perfect video promo package. That's what you want. Come back. Death Triangle is cutting a promo on the United Empire. Say that they're going to get the best of them and they're going to move on and win those trios championships. Well, they ain't winning. You might as well get ready to pencil in the United Empire winning. And I believe the United Empire is going to win because of the food that's been sitting around with that box on his head. I believe next week Kip Sabian officially makes his in-ring return as it not, wrestling, but I'm talking about he makes his, just instead of sitting on the sidelines or sitting in the barricade with the fans and all that stuff. I believe next week he's going to cost the Death Triangle, which will get us to him versus Pac at All Out for the Pacific Championship. Jungle Boy comes out, fans goes nuts. He tells the fans he's been trying his best to get his hands on Christian, but Christian keeps on escaping. He tried to hit him, it didn't work. He tried to do that, it didn't work. He said, I even tried to run him over with a car. It didn't work. So, if Christian wants to continue to avoid me, that's fine. And the fact that even got my boy Luchasaurus suspended for headbutting a doggone official. Actually, I pretty much knew that's why he wasn't on the show. He said, well, that's the case. I want to wrestle you at All Out. Christian come out. He said, for your so-called challenge, I ain't giving it to you. And then he got in the ring. He told him, he said, listen, man, I don't want to fight you. I want to let bygones be bygones, man. I look to you like you're a son. And the fans said, BS, don't buy it. Don't listen to him. He's full of crap. Don't pay him no mind. Don't pay Christian no mind. Christian on some bullshit. So Jungle Boy had to act like, as soon as he was about to hug him, he low blowed him. Then he started beating the bricks off of him, tore him down, all that stuff. Then that's when Christian tried to get the upper hand on him. He threw him out the ring. Then Jungle Boy started beating the bricks off him, threw him into the doggone steel steps, even slammed his hand into the steel steps. Listen, it was right. He been trying to get his hands on that man for so long. All the stuff that he done put him through, it's only right. Perfect. This was presented perfect. Jungle Boy get better on the mic. That's why I said hanging out with Christian, that did him wonders. First of all, when he was talking, the mic was kind of messed up, but then they fixed it. So kudos to the production crew for getting that right. So obviously what's going to happen. But remember, the most important player to this whole situation is Luchasaurus. He was suspended, ladies and gentlemen. He was suspended. Peep that. He was suspended. So, backstage, FTR and Warlow, they addressed Lethal's challenge. Everybody had an opportunity to say something. Right to the point. We're going to get Dax Harwood versus Jay Lethal next week. They said what they said. Dax even said, look, Jay Lethal, at one point, everybody thought you was one of the best wrestlers, but I'm going to talk about myself, not to sound arrogant or nothing like that, But I feel that I'm one of the best wrestlers on the planet right now. He ain't lying. The fact that that man is being a candidate for Wrestler of the Year, man, I will not disagree with that. Because right now, I tell y'all, FTR is the best tag team in AEW. Right? Heck, they the best tag team in wrestling. Period. I know people got people like the Usos, people like the Young Bucks, people like the New Day, people like you name it. FTR for me is the best tag team in wrestling right now. Cash, Dax, great. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, listen, we're going to see where this goes. Maybe this might end up being a treat. I don't know. I know we're going to have like maybe look, AEW All Out, we're going to have multiple multi-man matches. Like, just pencil that in. You know what's going to happen. So we get to the ladies. Toni Storm versus Killian King. This is a solid match. This was all about Killian King. We all know how great Toni Storm is. This is about Miss Killian King getting reps in. Toni has to get a victory because they kept mentioning the fact that Toni Storm is technically right now the number one contender for Thunder Rosa's championship. But could Killian King slow her down? Excuse me. So backstage, they showed her watching. I said, all right, that's great. We getting somewhere. Get us interested in the AEW women's title picture, Tony Khan. That was great. She wasn't out there, but she was watching. And the fact that they mentioned that if Killian King got an upset victory, they said that that could knock her off in the ratings, even though she's rated as the number one contender. Pay attention to what Excalibur and JR and Taz and Tony was talking about. Excellent. So, it was a couple of botches here. You know, like I said, let me tell you something. I noticed that sometimes, especially with the, you know, a lot of the women's matches, you're going to see botches. You're going to. Because a lot of the girls are still trying to get that, you know, TV factor. Because obviously a lot of them be on dark all the time. This is not the first time I've seen Killian King. Killian King is actually a solid wrestler. She's pretty dope. And you know how great Toni Storm is. You know how good she is. So I got to give Toni Storm props because the fact that she did everything in her power to make King look like she was a credible foe. So kudos to Toni Storm. But at the end of the day, she wasn't going to win. Toni beats her. And they went right back to the back. Thunder Rosa was smiling. But that smile turned into a evil grin frown real fast. I say, ladies and gentlemen, Thunder is turning heel. This is what we're talking about. We're getting interested. Tony Khan is shortly but surely getting us interested into the AEW women's title picture going into All Out. And I'm cool with that. I don't want her to go full-fledged heel yet. I will wait till All Out. All Out, you have the Renegade Twins be the reason why. You hook her up with the Renegade Twins. I'm cool with that. I'm cool. Renegade Twins, they roll with her. And Thunder go on this heel run until we build somebody else up to take their championship off her. So, like I said, the ladies did good. They did okay. You know what I'm saying? But, like I said, a couple of like botches here and there. But, you know, it is what it is. Best friends cut a promo on the Trust Busters. The Trust Busters responded back to them. I'm just ready for the match to be done. I really have nothing else to say. I really don't. I just don't. You know, I just want that match to be done. When they do it, we get it over with. So, they announced it. They started talking about matches that's going to take place. And right here, they said it. Next week, we get Moxley versus Punk. And I was like, Tony Khan, why? Why couldn't you just wait? You had 2 more weeks before we did the match. 2 more weeks. Wait. Have fun with it, man. Keep us on the edge of our seat. Don't just give away what everybody knows was for. Everybody know. You a clown if you don't think MJF is pulling up next week. He's pulling up next week. It's not. Listen, he's coming. He's going to pull up. The dude is pulling up. That's basically what we're doing the match. I'm like, Tony, wait. Don't give the match away. Wait. Have fun, man. Learn to have fun with your booking. Don't just do it because I gotta do it. No. Slow down. Slow down right quick. Slow down. Slow down. And then go through it. Thunder versus Tony. It's already set. So we got quite a few matches. So let me see the matches that we know is going to be on the card. They just didn't name them. Obviously, we're going to have the two finalists for the Trios Championship. That's one match. Thunder Rosa versus Tony. That's 2. We're going to get Bryan versus Jericho. That's 3. We got Eddie Kingston versus Sammy. That's 4. Will Hobbs versus Ricky. That's 5. More than likely, it's going to be Jay versus Athena. That's 6. The AEW Tag Team Champions, they're going to be on the line. That's 7. The AEW World Heavyweight Championship match, which more than likely is going to become a triple threat, that's 8 matches right there. And we still got matches to be added on. So the card look like it's going to be a great card. You know what I'm saying? But I would have saved that triple threat. I would have saved it for a Grand Slam. You give yourself 3 weeks to build into Grand Slam because you got a story to tell. The fact that you had saved CM Punk and Moxley, you let them two battle it out, and you let Moxley win, and then boom, that's where you can drop the MJF drop. You drop it. You drop it at All Out. You don't bring them back this early because it's a dead giveaway. It's a dead giveaway. I mean, and that's my gripe, man. Because I was like, this show was a great show, but the bleeding from Bryan and then Tony giving away the main event, I was like, dog. I said, man, Tony don't know how to have fun, man. That's one of his biggest problems. One of his biggest problems with being a booker. He don't know how to have fun. He can when he want to, but sometimes he just be doing stuff because he's so giddy. He's so giddy just trying to do stuff. And I'm like, bro, slow your roll. Slow down. Slow down. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. The worst kept secret. Everybody in the mama know he was coming back. Everybody in the mama. Who are the Jacksons going to pick as their partner? Who are they going to pick? Who's the Young Bucks surprise partner? Everybody in the mama know. Now I got to give Justin Roberts props. Justin Roberts made you have chills when he introduced Kenny Omega. Dude, I don't get chills like that. The way how he introduced that man, that crowd out there in West Virginia went completely ape. They went ape. They went ape. It's good to see my man's back, but I still personally feel that I really didn't need him until Full Gear. That's just me. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's doing well, but I wanted him to be 1,000% ready to go. He personally think he was ready. I just would have waited. I would have waited, but so I mean, unless I'm guessing they're gonna win the whole. Maybe Adam Cole and them gonna screw him over. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna pop off, but we got LFI because it's hard to pronounce that. La Facion, Ngo Bernard Bless or something like that. Dragon Lee Rush and Andrade El Idolo. This is a very good main event. A very good trios match. They did everything in their power to have Kenny basically, quote unquote, sell all the injuries. Every time Kenny wanted to do his move, everybody kept tripping him up. So they would try something, can't do it, get messed up. So as we got on to the end, Young Bucks. Yeah, listen, you know what you're gonna get from the Young Bucks. You know they gonna do their spot fest things, flipping all over the place, jumping off of ropes, all this crazy clown stuff. And Dragon Lee actually looked great. Listen, Dragon Lee is a good wrestler, man. It's just, it's unfortunate what happened at the end of the match because I'm talking about it. But Dragon Lee is a great wrestler, man. He looked great with Rush and Andrade, and you had Jose. It was Jose. You had Jose out there tripping folk, and Don the Clown popped up. You seen him? You seen Don the Clown? But here's the deal: Don is still a heel. Don is still a heel, ladies and gentlemen. Even Mike Nakazawa came out too, looking like he working the back. Mike Nakazawa and Don the Clown came out there. Don Cornelius, aka Don the Clown. His allegiance. It's gonna come down to where does his allegiance stand when all said and done. And I think Don the Clown is going to align himself with the Undisputed Era when it calls for him. I feel like that's what's going. I think that's where we're going. Don the Clown is going to align himself with Adam Cole and them. So Kenny is back. Look great. Still got to get some ring rust, but I mean, obviously he ain't wrestling 260. What is it, 270 days or 260 some days, something like that. Like I said, I would have waited. I would have just let him chill, let him get all the kinks, all the stuff out. But he feel he's ready to go. He ended up doing a move on Dragon Lee. 1, 2, 3. Crowd goes insane. Main event was perfect. Excellent main event. Didn't have no problem with the main event at all. That main event was great. So after that, he embraced Dragon Lee. He hugged the man and thanked them and all that stuff. So they walk out. And so then Rush and Andrade picked up Dragon Lee. And next thing you know, they laid him out. I was like, it's just silly. It's so goofy. I don't know what the Clown they doing. You bring the man in and you beat him down, and guess what happened? The mask. I said, they don't have no respect for masked wrestlers. They don't. It's like every time you turn around, somebody losing a mask. This person lose a mask over here. I gotta lose a mask here. It's like, man, they can't help themselves. I was like, and Kenny and them looked like they was ready to get back in the ring, but that's when the show went off there. And so I'm like, Dynamite was a good show. But like I said, man, just Tony, please learn to have fun when it comes to this booking stuff. Don't just be ready to give crap away because she like, no, bruh. Like, man, I get it. Punk and Moxley can't wait to get their hands on each other. But, bro, you couldn't just, like, these two aren't, basically, you couldn't come up with something like these two are not allowed to touch each other until the pay-per-view. No, you got to get, the man called Hangman out. You could have gave us CM Punk versus Hangman. I would have been cool with that because at least CM Punk could get his feet wet again. He can get his feet wet against Hangman. I would have been fine with that. I said, it ain't Mox. Keep Moxley and them away from each other. Don't bring MJF in yet. Have fun. I could have got the triple threat at Grand Slam. Give me the triple threat. Because I wanted the triple threat, but I wanted the triple threat at Grand Slam. Tony Khan said, no, I'm about to give you fools the triple threat at All Out. I said, we getting the triple threat at All Out. We getting it. Trust me. It's going to be a triple threat, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be CM Punk versus John Moxley versus MJF for both all the titles, for all the Marvels, and MJF is walking out. You might as well pencil it in. MJF is walking out of All Out with the championships. I know fools like, man, yeah, it's going to be like, no. Grand Slam, quote unquote, is in New York. Am I correct? Ain't that fool from New York? Wouldn't you think he want to do it in his home state? I know that's not Long Island, but still, it's New York. He's from New York. Wouldn't you want to save that for New York? Crowd goes completely ape. No, Tony Khan said, I got to get this stuff over with now. Screw that, man. Screw it. MJF is pulling up. He's pulling up next week. Pencil it in. It's going to happen. Tony Khan didn't listen to nothing I had to say. I was like, he just, oh no, screw that fool from Chicago. That fool don't know what he talking about. Man, I tell you, man, I'm like, I want to give this dude props. I want to because he makes me care about wrestling, and then sometimes he make me scratch my head and ask, what the heck are you doing? And then, like I say, I know my guy King might be cooking his behind every day, but man, sometimes he deserves to get cooked. He deserves to get cooked because I'm like, bro, you have fun with your booking. Have fun with it. Don't just give crap away like the most unkept secret. Everybody and their mama knew Kenny Omega was coming back. Everybody. I'm like, come on now. Y'all know who it is. It's Kenny Omega. You know. But that's my rant on Dynamite. I got to talk about it. There's a couple of things that took place. WWE got caught up in tampering. Apparently, they reached out to a current signed AEW talent that's definitely signed in AEW, and they're not leaving no time soon. They said they're happy here. Triple H, bro, wait till the contract's up. You know, I get it. You trying to take things serious over in the E, but let the contract expire before you start trying to cut. Now, I understand tampering has always went down to wrestling because TK was getting cooked like what last year for tampering. So now Triple H is like, I'm gonna do the same thing. Tony Khan, don't even waste your time responding. What your tail needs to learn how to do is book a goddamn excellent wrestling show. I'm tired of this wishy-washy foolishness. Don't be wishy-washy. Do not tweet nothing about that crap. Don't tweet nothing about it. Focus on getting this show better. We got 2 weeks. 2 weeks, man. I was like, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. This all out. And then Tony Khan say, nah, I'm about to screw it up because I got to give you the match before the match. I'm like, Tony, quit screwing crap up. Quit screwing crap up. Learn to have fun with your booking. Quit being goofy, because that's the problem. He too giddy. This Tony Khan's probably too freaking giddy. It's one thing to be a wrestling fan, and I get it. He's a mark like every single one of us. We all marked. But this fool sometimes is too giddy. He like, I gotta give it away. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna get a match on TV. You had Hangman sitting right there. CM Punk called that fool out. He called him out. You had the match sitting right there. And you say, nope, I'm going to give you the pay-per-view match on TV because I got to get MJF. I told you how to get MJF back into it. Hold this fool off until All Out. You have Shawn Spears sitting in the audience the whole time. Have Shawn Spears acting a fool. Clowning. Have him acting a fool all day. And then you go from there. That's it. That's all you had to do. Man. And somebody tried to rob Sasha Banks. They broke into a rental car, stole some makeup. It won't be well with them, man. It just won't. Like I said, listen, whenever Sasha and Naomi pull up, I'm going to be here. It don't matter. If they pull back up in the E, I'm going to be here. If they come to AEW, I'm going to be here. Listen, I'm about to end this thing. I thought I was going to have time to keep going, but I done went on way too long. This your boy Caseyville, King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. Hit the comment section up. Tell me how you feel. If you are in 1,000% agreement with me that Tony Khan needs to learn how to have fun with his booking and slow down. Or you think I'm bugging. You think I'm nitpicking and tripping and on some bull jive. Tell me in the comment section how you feel about it. This your boy Caseyville, King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. I'll talk to y'all cats later. Holla at me.